Alright, how's it going, you guys? So I have been answering on the convos on YouTube, and I want to say thank you, and I hope I'm helping everyone with all this content. Today I'm going to talk about comparing the two lasers that I have. I have a newer one and I have an older one. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Let's talk about the similarities of both lasers, and I want to kind of walk you through some of this too, so you guys know. So I'm sorry if I'm making anyone sick, because I'm gonna move the camera. So let's go over here. Now, similarities is that, let's base it off of that this is a CO2 and not a fiber, first of all, because that one's a CO2 over here, the Legend. So now that one and this one is both CO2. That's the similar part of it. You have your lenses that are down in here. Okay, you have two of them. You have one here, you have more in there. Now that is the same as this one, the Legend. You have a mirror here and a mirror here, and then you have some over there and back over there. Okay, so the similarities of that is you have to clean those. I clean mine. I'm kind of picky about it. I clean mine at least once a week. If I see a little speck on there, I clean it, because I don't want to replace them. So why not keep it nice? That part is nice, and only part of my laser that's dirty that it just drives me nuts is this part. And that's because of the smoke. I mean, when you're running it all the time, you have it. I have a brush, I wipe it off, I take a vacuum, take it apart, blah, blah, blah. I do my best, and that's what it looks like. So, far as that goes, running them off of Corel Draw is the same. Now, the Legend over here is 75 watt. This one is 60 watt. Now, this one you can control dithering. That one you cannot. So, in my opinion, that one is still a workhorse. Don't get me wrong, but is not as strong as the 60 watt newer one, because I can control the dithering. I can focus in more on my lasering, on the laser part of it, so I can get a deeper, nicer, and smoother laser on it, especially with glass. Glass with this one is, it's right on. It's awesome. Let's see. The other thing would be, oh, and by the way, this was all for, I believe his name was Matt. He asked all these questions, so I want to make sure that I'm answering them all, and to help other people, because like I've said in other videos, if one person likes something or is asking the questions, there's hundreds to a million more that, you know, think the same thing. So we're going to do the differences. Now, the differences is this is huge. This is super, super huge. And I have to take this apart so you guys can see it. The one thing that I absolutely love with the newer one is I cut back on my cleaning compared to that one. And I'm going to show you why. So, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. It just, the newer one, you don't have to do so much, so it cuts back on time. Okay, so you've got this. Let's set you down in there. You have this strip right there. See here, I'm touching it back here. Now, that strip will wreak havoc if you do not keep it clean. So, that is one difference between the new and the old. And you have to clean that depending on what you're running and how well you're running and your exhaust system. But every time I clean my lenses, I clean that strip, because I don't want to wreck anything. Thought I had one to show you, but it got thrown away. So the differences between those machines is, you know, the big difference is definitely that strip for the I forget the name of it. I'm drawing a blank. But there's a sensor along there, and it has a bunch of little lines basically, and it reads like when to put down your marks, and stuff will get on there, and you have to clean that off. And you just take Q-tip, alcohol rub, just like on your lenses, and that's only how you clean it. You just wipe it off, good to go. On the newer laser, the autofocus, you can type it in. So if you take a measurement with your caliper, and you, like, let's say this block here, I measure this block and it's exactly 2.5 inches, you can put it in 2.5 inches. If it's 2 3/4, you can put it in 2 3/4, and the bed will automatically go to that height. Versus the other one, the older one, has a plunger, and I'll show you that plunger. And as it's coming down, it'll plunger it and come back up, and it'll read the height that way. Let's see. That plunger is right here. So it'll come down and it'll push this up. And that's how it gets the sensor, and it knows how far to go for the height to go up from the product. So other than that, the lasers are pretty close to, I mean, as far as operating stuff, they're pretty close. Yeah, as far as that goes, they're pretty close, and it's only the little stuff that you have to worry about. The other thing was the new laser, when you put it in, you can have it set up where it auto deletes. The Legend, the older one, you can't do that with that one, but that's okay. What I do is I put it in on the screen, and I go down to the job, and then I hit run, and as it's running, I right away hit enter and go back into that job, and I scroll down to go to the delete, and I leave it highlighted on the delete. So when the job's done, I go over, and it's just a habit now. I hit enter, and it deletes that job, and I can go to the next one. So I can put 20 jobs in at once, and then I can run through. And don't do that if there's a thunderstorm outside. Because if you get a glitch of power outage or anything, then you have to go back and put it all right back in there. Done that. Okay, so the other thing was maintenance and replacement parts. I went over there a lot of the maintenance with cleaning the lens and that strip on top on the older one. The other thing you have to do for maintenance would be overall clean. Like, make sure you're cleaning your machine. Like for this one, the new one, it's pretty simple. You can pull this down, raise the bed all the way up, and you can put a vacuum cleaner down in there and just get all your dust balls and whatever out of there. If you can't get it all, then you just take this door off right here. Take that door off, and it pops off. You can get in that way. The front of the Legend, that comes off, and it's the same thing. Always make sure you're cleaning all that, because you don't want to start a fire, because it could happen. So whenever you're doing wood. The other maintenance part would be, if you're not going to clean your lenses, you're not good at it, and you just forget or whatever, your lenses from each laser, they're about the same. It's $100 per lens, roughly. That's what I think I paid last time. It was either $100 or $50. I always buy a bunch of them at once, so I don't have to worry about it. I only did it once, and I've been running these for 4 or 5 years. So, yeah, keep them clean. You don't have to worry about it. The other thing is, when I bought the new one, Epilog told me that they've been getting 10-year runs on their laser tubes. This one, unfortunately, did not last that long. It was just over 2 years, and it went out. But the laser tube didn't go out. There's a piece after the laser tube, it's the shutter, and that got stuck, and it wasn't working right. So they sent it back, sent me a new one, and then they gave me another 5 years on top of it. So they're very good with that. As far as that goes, I was very happy with that. I was really impressed, actually. The other laser back here, the Legend, is the same thing. I believe the Legend, the 75 watt, they quoted at $3,000. The 60 watt, I believe this one was $2,700 or $2,600. Don't quote me on that, but that was 2 years ago or a year ago when I got the quotes on them, just to kind of know what I needed to have in my accounts for, a backup. So, and then also maintenance on the newer one, they have filters in the back. that you have to switch out. So, and you know, it depends on how, it all goes back to, depends on how much you run to, is you want to take these out and you want to do a good clean on them. So your exhaust port on like this one here, let's see, right here, this whole thing, you lower your bed down, this unbolts, take it off, and you can clean that out with the vacuum cleaner and get everything out of there, because you don't want to start fires. So I've been doing it once a year, and I was just actually telling my wife I'm gonna do it again this year because we're running too much, I think. And then this one, it's pretty simple. You take these off, and then there's a part in the back you pull off, and I can make another video on that if you guys would like. Just let me know down in the comments. And when I do a maintenance on here, as far as the cleaning out the exhaust port, I can do that and show you how it's done. It's pretty simple. There's another thing with, if you're looking at getting an older one, because it'll save you a ton of money too. That machine's a workhorse. That's 75 watt. It's a workhorse. The one thing I have to say for, that's a 2005. So I think it's 2008. Don't quote me. You have to ask. You can call. By the way, you can call Epilog and they'll tell you all this information. I think it's 2008 though that they started switching everything. But they quit making parts for that Legend. So there's aftermarket parts that you can get, but they come straight from China. So it will take you like a month to a month and a half to get the part. I've had to do that before with the gantry motor in the back. The one you can see right here, this one, I've had to replace that once. Also, I've had to replace this screen, and I think the motor was 180 and the screen was, I think it was 280. It's a drop in the bucket, honestly, for what it can make you. So you just do it, you know. As far as that goes, that's the only stuff that I've had to replace. You better knock on wood. So it compared to, now I've had the eBay laser, the blue one, and so, and the only thing I can compare to is the eBay one that I bought, my very first one. I did a ton of testing on it, so it could have been my fault too, but no, it was not my fault. I did testing on it making these things, the blocks. That and glass bottles that we did. So I ran it, burnt into the wood and glass, and I got it working good, and it was just over a month and that laser tube went out. Contacted the seller and they're like, there's no warranty, so oh well. I was like, what am I supposed to do? So they wouldn't even help me get a laser tube. So I did my own research, figured that out. As the meantime, I'm getting orders on Etsy, and then we were just trying to push Amazon. I'm like, stop that. So we're pushing on Etsy, and we're asking the people, is it okay if we can go back? We just broke our laser and we're super sorry. And then I find out it's going to be a month and a half before I get this laser tube. I'm like, there's no way. So then I really had to do research and figure out all the different lasers they had around. And I came across Epilog, and you couldn't find a used one. And I happened to go to the dealer that day, and I talked to him. And I told them what I do, and they're like, okay, well, you're going to want this laser. But it was, what the heck, that one was $18,000. And I was like, I don't want to spend that much. You know, I don't know where this is going to go. I didn't do it. I walked out. I think it was like an hour and a half. Yeah, because it was just after I got home. It's about an hour away. And he gives me a call and he goes, hey, someone just came in and traded in their laser. Would you want to buy this old one? I'm like, yeah. How much? Well, I walked out and that was $10,500 when I walked out with that one. And I was just happy as a clam. I got home. Oh, and the other thing is, so that's back to the 2005 and 2008 era. You can't run a 64-bit computer. You have to run a 32. So that's something to think about, you know. So, and it's fine. I have an older one. They're $200. You can get rebuilts from Amazon or Best Buy or whatever. So you just don't hook it up online, so you can't get any viruses on it, and go that way. I do have that one hooked online, but I have another one sitting aside in case something would happen. And I back up everything. Go get the Seagate, back it all up, because you're going to have to go back in and make all your stuff again if it crashes. But back to, I bought that laser, we brought it home, and it worked awesome. I learned a ton, and we couldn't keep up, and that's when we made the jump to this one. I actually wish I would have went a little smaller and when I went so big right away, but you know, because we did have to get help on this one by a loan, and that's when we were like, no, we're not doing this. That's, in our eyes, that was stupid, because I look at it, if you have the money, you spend it. If you don't spend it. You save up. But anyways, because we're a small business. Anyways, that's different story for a different time. As far as easy use, they're very easy. Epilog, you can call them at any time. They'll walk you through it. I don't know like where you guys live or anything, but my the guy I bought it from, he also, I can email him. It'll be at 10 o'clock at night. He'll shoot me an email back right away. And he is super, super friendly and awesome and great with that. Even when he's on vacation, he's emailed me back. And because he knows what it's like, and he wants you to succeed because he wants you to buy another one. So he's going to help you. The other question that Matt had was quality. Now, back to, this is me going from the eBay to these. That's a huge jump. The eBay, you can say it is, I can't say that word, so I'll just go. These are awesome. What I like to do is, I've been having a lot of people ask about Glowforge, and I'm really contemplating on buying a Glowforge just to try it out and see how it goes, and then just put a review on it. So I think I might actually email them to see what they would do to work with me on that too. Even if they sent me one for a month or something, I can send it back, you know. But there's another one, Australia company, I believe, Torx. I can't remember the name, but that was the other one I was going to look into. But I really went to the Epilog is because it's American made. I think 90% of it's made in the US. Don't quote me. I'm pretty positive it's 90. It might be more than that. But all the parts, like the parts that I've needed, when the laser tube broke down, or when the laser broke down, they overnighted that the next night. But they did make me put the cost of the laser tube. They took, like, I had to pay the this one was $2,500. That's right. So it's $2,500 for this laser, and it was $3,000 for the 75. But I had to put the $2,500 down, and then when they received the broken laser tube, they put the $2,500 back in my account. So just an FYI. All the parts they have right away, except for the old ones that from 2005 and older, they quit making them because they switched over, and all the servo motors now have a disc they read off of rather than the strip, so they're more accurate. Well, I hope that helped some of you guys. I know I'm not too technical with a lot of the words and stuff, but you don't need to be either. I'm still learning too, by the way, if you haven't noticed. But my main concern is to try to, I don't need to know so much of the maintenance in and out of these machines because they are bulletproof. And I'm knocking on wood again because I really hope I'm not going to put my foot in my mouth in a week. But they're awesome. Take care of them and you'll be fine. Just keep up on your maintenance, your simple maintenance, and that's cleaning it. That's simply, it's it. I've had to adjust the laser. I'll do that right now. I had to adjust the laser on this, and that was one of the maintenance things. I actually crashed the head into a cup, a 20-ounce cup, when I was doing the bottom for someone because they wanted this finger standing up on the bottom of the cup. I don't want to do anything because I have kids. But anyways, so they wanted a finger on the bottom of the cup, so I put it on the bottom of the cup. Well, I had autofocus on and I didn't know it, and I hit start and I was talking to the guy and I grabbed some other stuff, looked over, and the cup was pushing right here on the head and it twisted it up. So I had to do mirrored alignments and get that all fixed. Other than that, I haven't had to adjust the mirrors on that one ever, and I had to do it once on the old one a long time ago when I put new lenses in. That was it. And that's, you know, that's another video. If you guys want, put it down in the comments below. I can show you how to align those lenses. And To remind you now, this one is the newer one I have is a fiber CO2. So the lenses, or not the lenses, the laser, you have to, when you line up the CO2, you have to make sure that fiber one's lined up, because let's say you wanted to make a cup, something flat. Let's say you want to do something flat and easy like a plaque, and you want to engrave into the metal, and then take that outside, spray it with a sear mark, and then put it back in there, and then turn it black in that same spot. Well, if you're going to do that, you better make sure that fiber and your CO2 are lined up, or it's going to be off. So, but yeah. I hope that answered all your questions, Matt, and some other people. If you guys like this content, make sure you hit a thumbs up. And let me know. You guys keep telling me in the comments what you want to see, what you want to hear, and what you want to know. Like I said, I'm pretty open, and I'll let you guys know, or I'll keep making videos too by when you guys put stuff down there. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's in the bottom over here, I believe. Or maybe over here. Somewhere in the bottom there's a red subscribe button, and if it's gray, it's because you subscribe, and I want to say thank you. Yeah, I hope this helps out, and glad you got to see me again. Bye.